Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Hako, episode number 14 reaction. So the previous episode we got to know more about Haryu and Karin, both of them, how they met, their relationship, and how I guess they started dating and all that. Not only that, we also had Haryu's match, and against Hyodo he was very close, but not close enough to get that win. Unfortunately, he lost, and there's a few, I think, like a few more matches after this. So Hyodo still hasn't won it. There's a possibility he might also lose the Prefectural tournaments. Who knows? I guess we'll get to see in today's episode, and see what happens. But unfortunately, Haryu lost, and they did the whole handshake thing, and they were like, Hyodo was like, yeah, like like you're the like the best player I've played, something like that. He said, like, like you like I had a lot of fun playing with you, something like that he said. Anyways, he still has next year, but a loss is still a loss, so everyone will have to yes, just as same as Taiki, he'll also have to get to the finals next time, and I guess show, see what happens. But Taiki will also be preparing. Yusa is also there, so next year everything will be very yeah. So, anyways, let's see what happens today in this episode. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Hmm. What's the connection? Right. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Okay. Wait. So I guess they didn't show that. Yeah. Oh. Oh, final year. Hmm. Rumor, but I. Girls up under pressure. They will be the senpai next year. Putting the phone. Yeah, they have a whole like a pattern. Hmm. But now that they'll be graduating and they'll be retiring. Yeah. Right. Okay. Oh, so he won the whole thing. Nice. Okay, there you go. What the? Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Okay. Oh, basketball. Hmm. Well, that's bad luck. Well, yo, that's funny. I feel like a lot of people do this, including me. Like, do a certain thing and make like a goal. Like, oh, I have to do this before this, otherwise this will happen. Oh, it's a weird thing. Ah, well, it went in. Right. Bruh. Oh, is this Ina? Is she back? Yep. So, what happened? You won? Yeah, what happened? Yeah. Right. think she lost. I don't know. No. What type of taiyaki is that? With ice cream? Yeah, I think she wasn't able to win. Hmm. I don't know. Okay, never mind. Maybe she won. Oh, well, but okay. But yeah, she will. Yeah, but I'm sure she wants to be first. Like I said. Right. True. That is true. Hmm. Oh, third quarter. So yeah. Oh, wait. I wasn't able to concentrate. Oh, her. Bruh. What the? Oh, well. Right. Now she realized. Fourth quarter. So they're like at the end or something. I don't know. Right. Well, makes sense. Well, it won't be a competition otherwise. This is quite dangerous, by the way. But you know. Oh, damn. Okay. Wait, so 64. Oh, okay. So they're lag lagging by 1 point, and there's 8 seconds, so they can tie it. Damn, 2 seconds. Oh no. She let him win. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, so how does this work? Are they out? Or will they have a chance? Like, oh, alright. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so by 1 point. Oh, it broke. Oh boy. Well, is she going to firm it, or she going to? Oh, she actually firmed it. Right, she firmed it completely. Yeah. What? Okay. Right. Out of the blue. Yeah, true. That is true. Well, she made progress. By a lot, I guess. Yeah, there were the signs. You dense. Yeah, well, otherwise, why would she, you know? Yeah, he's realizing now. Yeah, at that time as well. Oh my god. Well, he was doing push-ups in front of the door before. Oh, here we go. Mm. Yeah, so they're out completely. Like, I guess it makes sense. It's a prefectural tournaments. Well, okay, so she has one more year after this. Taiki has 2 more years. Haryu has 1 more year, and Hina also has 2 years, I think. Yeah, and she'll also not know how to interact with him. I guess she'll just firm it and just put on a smile. Yeah. Oh, right. What what's she doing here? Right. Hmm. Right. Okay. Oh, right. Where did she come from? What the hell? She's just there, I guess. Oh, I guess she came back now? Wait, so she oh the late I was thinking like did she go back home first and then come here? Like what happened? Because if she was at home, Taki would have said something. He's not the type of person who's just like, So I guess she came here first, or maybe I don't know. I can understand why, like, like the ending is Hina themed because I guess, like, because of the whole confession thing, the focus on her is a lot more now than it was before. Oh. Okay, and that was today's episode. Right, that was episode number 14. Yeah, episode number 14. So today's episode, obviously the biggest part of today's episode was Hina's confession and Chinatsu's loss in the the prefectural tournaments. Now, few things to talk about here. First and foremost, you can see how Hina decided not to just, I guess you could say, not to just keep standing, keep being stagnant. She decided to take initiative. And because, if you think about it, she is at a disadvantage from the very beginning. From the fact that, Taiki likes Chinatsu and all that. That in itself is a big disadvantage. Like, so she always already like started late in the race. Chinatsu already has a head start. And so to compensate for that, she decided to confess now because that's the only thing she can do in this situation to gain a little bit more um, distance, to close the distance between her and Chinatsu. So this was the only thing she had with her, and she decided to use it, and it actually, I guess, kind of worked. You could say, yeah. She did close the distance a little bit, but I guess obviously Taiki still likes Chinatsu, and the whole thing with Chinatsu's loss and everything, that'll probably make the whole interaction between them more awkward now that Chinatsu has seen, I guess you could say, Taiki and Hina. I don't know if she actually overheard her saying like, "Oh, now that I've confessed to you," that part. I'm not sure. She was at a distance, so I'm not sure if she actually heard that. If even if she didn't hear that, I guess like seeing them, she was like, "Oh, okay." Um, but if she heard that, then that's even, I guess that's going to probably widen the distance even more. But yeah, like because of these type of things, and now they'll have like a very awkward type of an interaction now. Like Taki won't know how to speak to her because first and foremost, she already told him to keep a distance. Number one. Number two is that she has lost the tournament, so he Taki wouldn't know how to talk to her properly, and like that part. Not only that, Chinasu herself will, after seeing this whole scene, she herself will not be sure whether to talk to him or not, and how to interact with him. Number two, the loss for the game also will probably, you know, kind of burden her a bit, and she won't be able to talk as freely as she could have. And the fact that they have lost this year, that means one more year after this will probably make her think even more and be like, oh, I cannot let these type of things like my feelings and everything interfere in my matches. So she'll probably be shutting herself down even more in that sense from her feelings, and probably focus more on, even more, the on her games and her practice than ever before, because there's one more year, only one more year after this for her. um, so yeah, because of all of these reasons, that was probably going to happen for now, at least. Then we obviously Hina, we have Hina kind of gaining and closing the distance against Chinasu in the race. uh, you know I guess for Taiki's affections or whatever. um, and since she has confessed, I guess it'll be more like going, shifting in that direction. Well, like, I know at the end of the day, like, she'll probably be the one to lose at the end. Like, Chiasu will probably win the whole thing by the end of it. Look, that's pretty damn obvious. She and Taiki are the main face of the manga, so like, like, it's pretty damn obvious. But either way, this is her way of, I guess you could say, compensating for the head start that Chinatsu already got. Right. And yeah, let's see what happens then. That was the main thing for today. Also, I just realized something. So Chinatsu, and then there'll be like the seniors next year. So that will mean, just like how there'll be a few people retiring, there's a few people who'll probably come in and join their team, like some underclassmen who will be part of their group. in the in the basketball group. So yeah, but I guess that's later, from not now. I guess like they lost just now, and I guess like next year. Either way, yeah, like they'll have to get used to the new students, like play along with them. They will have their own situations, like, and yeah, it's like a whole new team you're getting, kind of, I guess. So, and Chinatsu and her, like, year girls will be the seniors, so they will have a lot of responsibility and all that, I guess, to teach everyone, show them the ropes and all. um right. But yeah, that is the situation. Also, the band broke, as we saw, and I wonder if they'll put on another band, like after she talks to Taiki later on. I wonder if she'll put on another band. And yeah, like, I don't know, let's wait and see. um Anyways, Taiki is conflicted. Hina has confessed, and Chinatsu is depressed. That's the situation. Right. Was there anything else today? No, I think that was it. Oh, another important information. Yodo won, which is good. This was his final year, I think. Yeah. And he won the prefectural. That means, as they say, that means Haryu lost to the West. And this also makes you realize, and I feel like this must be so frustrating for Haryu, which is that if he was able to get a little bit more better, that one little point in the end, if he was able to get, he would have won against Hyodo, and that would mean he would have won the tournament. Just a minute, guys. All right, I'm back. Yeah, where was I? Right. So, like I was saying, that means a little bit more. If Buhari was able to win against Hyodo, he actually, there was a chance he would have won this, like won the tournament, the prefectures, and he would have been the champion. That, that must have been so frustrating, because he was the final, like he was the best. That means, since Yodo was the best and he lost to him by a little bit, that little bit amount was just, yeah, like he could have won this, like, good lord. And that must have been, like, that is why he's so pissed. You could see he's like, waving around his racket, and oh my god. Right. So yeah, but that also kind of means that next year he will be like one of the strongest. But then again, you have to remember, next year Taiki will be there. So or I'm hoping he will be there. Again, I have no idea if he will be there or not. I hope so. I hope he will be able to win it and go to the prefectures. So Taiki will be there. Yusa will be there. So I was gonna say, like, he's the strongest competitor. He will be the strongest competitor next year. But then Taiki is there. A lot of other, like, new students who will be way more better next year. They will be there. So it's like a, yeah, like he got this close to winning it, and if he won it, then that would have been it. But now that he have lost it again, next year he will have to face like unknown opponents who he has no idea about where they will pop out from, and who might be way more stronger than Hyodo as well. So he will have to, like, carry on improving, and even be better than Hyodo, that kind of thing. Right. So yeah, that's how it goes, I guess, in competition. Yeah. So let's see what happens, how these characters grow, and what happens in their future. Right. Yeah, and that is the situation, current situation. Oh, I also like the fact that when Hina was like, "Oh, let's do this little game thing where they, kick off their shoes on the swing." She did that because she wanted to have an excuse for confession. That's why she deliberately lost, and because I guess, like, she needed like a little bit of initiative. Like, she cannot just, it takes courage, and she cannot just abruptly just confess. So she was like, you know what, this will be my little initiative to confess to him. So she deliberately lost, and she confessed at that time. Right. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, is this gonna be one of those scenes? I've seen this scene so many times in animes where a character is like, oh, I like you, and and you're like, oh damn, this character confessed. That's surprising. And then immediately they cut to the next scene where we see they say something like because the thing is, like in English, it is like I like you know. So it's pretty obvious. In Japanese, it's you can just say suki, you know, and you can add something in the end to it and make it as if you like something else, you know, like say in this situation, Hina could have easily said something like twisted her words to be like, oh, I like this taiyaki. That's why that is the problem. I like you in English is pretty damn like like conclusive, like, oh, it's a statement you're telling it to someone. But in Japanese you can just say suki and then add something, uh, like then say something like, oh, taiyaki, like this taiyaki, I like this taiyaki, and completely change the whole conversation and back out from the confession. I've seen this happen so many times in so many animes. They always do this, and then immediately in the next scene, they just back out somehow. And the other character's like, oh, you like this? Haha. The other character's as dense as ever, so they never understand. So it always happens, especially if it's like a side character, like not the main heroine. I was like fully expecting that to happen here. But she firmed down. She was like, nope, I'll be extremely clear here. And yeah, she just firmed down and she confessed. And you know what? I like it because the thing is, I don't really see characters like this in especially in animes. Like again, like I said, side characters, not the main heroines. And there's a lot of main heroines who firm down and confess by the end of it. But side characters who actually like the main character, most of the time they just back out. Either they don't ever confess, ever, like it's just like that, or they try to confess and some weird anime shenanigans happen, like the fireworks starts blasting, or like the train comes in and it never happens. um, or they back out like this. They confess and then in the last minute they back out, by saying something else, and the main character is as dense as ever. He never gets it. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that we at least got a certain character who side character, or supporting character, not side character. She's not really a side character. I would say she's like the main supporting character who didn't back down, like firmed it, and went up until the end and confessed properly and made sure that there's no misunderstanding. She's like, yes, this is what I'm trying to say. You like, it doesn't matter if you're a dense anime protagonist. I'm making myself clear here. So your denseness is not going to interfere with my confession. Yeah, and that's what she did here, basically. And I appreciate that. We at least had a character like that. Right. But anyways, I know at the end it wouldn't even matter. Jess is just gonna win the whole thing. Is like, yeah, she'll probably be the one to, yeah. Anyways, but you know what? From Hina's part, she did her best. She is trying her best, and I commend her for that. There you go. And yeah, that was today's episode. Let's see what happens and how this relationship proceeds, how the situation proceeds, because Shinasu lost and all that. There'll be awkwardness and everything. So yeah, right. And yeah, that was today's episode. Now, let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, you can see Taiki. No, not Taiki, sorry, but Chinatsu's group. They are in that place, where the tournaments will happen. The senpais, they're all like, oh, like, good job. So the first match happened and they won that. And the senpais were like, oh, like, good job. And Chinatsu's like, oh, it's because, you guys supported us. Yeah, all that stuff. Then here we get to see Nagisa telling Chinatsu later on that, oh, you know what, these, our senpais, they will be retiring actually to focus on their um, exams and stuff. So this will be the final match, which kind of makes Chinatsu a little bit kind of, like, what's that word? retreat into a shell. Oh, you know what? One thing I realized here, Chinatsu wasn't able to make the shot, was she? In the end, just a minute. Let me just check. Um, wait. Yeah, it hit the rim, didn't it? Let me just double check. Just a minute. Did she miss it or it hit the rim? It hit the rim. So this kind of made me realize that now that I'm thinking about it, this is very similar to how Taiki lost, didn't he? Like, she wasn't able to make that shot. Taiki wasn't able to make that shot, against Yusa, as we saw. Oh no, not Yusa. Sorry. Against the duos, Yodo. So yeah, right. That's the thing. Right. Anyways, back on track. Yeah. So Shinatsu is like retreated into like a shell, and Nagisa's like, and they talk about like how they love basketball, this and that. Right. And also Nagisa's like, you know what? It's way more difficult for you because you not difficult, but it's way more important for you because like you've given up a lot of things for this. Like you're staying away from your family, this and that, for all because of this. Yeah, in the end she's like, don't worry, best of luck, let's do our best for today. um right. Yeah, and Chinasu also says how like the whole setting works, like, oh, like like senpai support us from there, we kind of go up, and like the senpais like take the defense and everything. It's like a whole set. But now, obviously, after all of this, all that will, yeah, so let's do this. Right. Anyways, they had that conversation. Now we are back here. We see uh, Haryu being very pissed off because he lost, obviously. Hyodo won, and we get this information here. And also the fact that he lost to the champion is even pissing him more off because, again, like I said, it is also like a good feeling because you're like, oh, like, I lost to the very best, you know. But at the same time, you also have this feeling that, god damn it, if I was able to win against him, I might have won this, So it was so close. So it's like a mixture of like a two feelings in a way, you could say. Right. Anyways, that was that. Now we have Taiki. Kind of the gym was closed. Or was going to be closed at 4 p.m. that day. That's why in the end Taiki was like kind of using, saw the basket, was kind of throwing it, trying to basket it, and he couldn't, obviously. But in the end, he kind of thinks about Chinatsu, throws the basket, shoots the basket. No, sorry, shoots the ball. Sorry, what am I saying? And tries to put it in the basket while saying that, oh, by while confessing, and it actually got in. So that makes him even more embarrassed, and he's like, "What the hell am I doing here?" Like, it's so weird, just confessing in the middle of an empty gymnasium. Oh boy. Anyways, this is where Hina comes in, and Hina's like, "Oh, like, what are you doing? This and that." And then they go out to have like taiyaki. Obviously, Hina doesn't immediately tell him, the result. But yeah, right. Next, we have, what one thing I guess you could say here. But I guess, what can I say? I was going to say that obviously, like, we see all these characters trying to win the, like the tournament and everything, and a lot of them not being able to. For example, Taiki wasn't able to qualify. Shinasu lost in the end, and we kind of focus on their sadness because of that. Hina, however, is not. We don't really see that, which I guess you could say, like, they don't really highlight that because I'm 100% sure, like, coming third must have been very frustrating for her as well. Just like Haryu lost to the very best, as we saw, she must have had her own thoughts around the whole situation as well. And the fact that she wasn't able to win it, it must be frustrating for her as well, sad for her as well. She's also been practicing the same amount as everyone else, but we never see that. We focus on the other characters, which is I guess. But that kind of makes us tend to forget that Hina must have been feeling the same in this situation. But then again, I guess comparing her situation to Chinatsu would be a little bit different, because for Chinatsu, as we see, Chinatsu's stakes are a lot higher. Also, because it's a team game, Chinatsu, I feel like it makes it difficult, more difficult on Chinatsu, because if she loses because of some, because as we saw in the end, she wasn't able to take that shot. Now she's feeling bad for herself and her teammates, and obviously her teammates wouldn't really hold it against her. But that's not the point. The point here is like, she's responsible as a team player. She not only carries her own fate in her hands, she carries everyone's fate. You know, that kind of thing. So this is the difference between like a solo play and a team play. Like, you're not only responsible for yourself but your whole team. So I guess Chinatsu's situation is way, way, way more um, complicated, way more sad, yeah, disappointing, not sad, but disappointing. And she would feel a lot more worse about the situation than Taiki or, you know, like Hina. Again, you know, like these type of things like sadness, disappointment, they aren't really comparable, but at the same time, you'll have to realize that Chinatsu has a lot at stake here, like quite a bit of stuff. You know, they're playing a team game. Right. But again, like I said, I was like, what I was trying to say here is like, we need to remember that just like everyone else, must have been also feeling bad here, but they don't really go in that direction or show that part of her, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's a thing, right? Anyways, so Hina here is like eating taiyaki with ice cream on it, and she's like, and Taiki's like, wait a minute, so she's not saying anything, she's like eating and everything, so that means she lost. But she's like, oh, you I didn't tell you, did I became third. So Taiki's like, oh damn, that's good, you're third nationally, which is a very big deal. Obviously she's like, yeah, but you think I'm going to stop here? Nope, I'm going to be the very best. Right. And she's like, next year I'm going to get it. And yeah, there you go. So that's that. And you can see she kind of sees Taiki looking at the clock and everything, and she at first she's like, wait, are you short on time or something? But then she realizes that this is Chinatsu's game. And yeah, so they're like, she's like, okay, let's go to the park. They go to the park, while little snippets we are seeing Chinatsu's game. Chinatsu's team is lacking by 1 point, as you can see. And yeah, while all of that is happening, we see Hina on the swing. She's like swinging, and Taiki's like, what the hell, like, your skirt, come on. And she's like, oh, I have shorts underneath. Anyways, so this is where I guess Hina made the decision to confess, because she was like, yeah, you know what, I cannot just keep standing still here, so I'll have to do something. So she then makes up this game. She's like, oh, let's do the whole like launch your shoe the furthest game. Right. And she does she tells Taiki to do that as well, and she's like, you know what, let's do it. If you lose, then you'll say a secret to me. If I lose, I'll say a secret to you. Embarrassing secret. So yeah, and obviously she had no intention of winning this, because she wanted to confess. So Taiki shoots his shoe. It goes quite far. And while all of this is happening, we're seeing snippets of Chinatsu's game. Then we have Hina kind of just flopping her leg, excuse me, a little bit, and the shoe just falls just right next to her. So she lost, and immediately at the time when Chinatsu lost the game, as you can see, he shoots the ball, 3 seconds left, and I guess if it went down, it would be in a tie, and I think they'd have a tiebreaker or something. But yeah, she does that, and it hits the ring. Right, they lost, and immediately at that moment, Hina confesses. Like I said, fully expecting her to back out, That's why I was saying that right. That's why I was saying that what will she do? Will she back down? Will she firm down? And right, like I genuinely thought she was going to back down, like 70%. But no, she's not that type of girl. She knew she had to do something, and she confessed here. And you can see Taiki's like, oh, you mean like or like? She's like like oh boy, like otherwise dense main characters, you need to be careful of them. Doesn't matter if you confess, it'll just go over their head. So you need to be very particular with your words and make them understand it, you know like teaching a toddler how to do mathematics. You need to make it like clearly explain it to them that, oh, this is the situation. And she did that. Right. Anyways, you can see Taiki is like scrunching his face because he's embarrassed. Right. Anyways, he's like, oh, this is the first time someone confessed this and that. Either way, Hina's like, it's okay. Like, you can take your time. I know you like Chinasu, but I thought I had to do something, and that's why I did it. And yeah, now at least you're conscious. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And you can see here, like, this is a very good example to how this is so, what can I say, like Taiki's main concern of confessing and then making their relationship bad, that type of thing. Hina goes against that, and she decides that it is, like, yeah, their relationship might be awkward, it might not be the same again, and like that kind of thing. Those fears definitely are within her as well, but she decided to firm down and confess, because if you don't, you'll be stuck there. And this is why I'm saying that this shows the, like, the other side of Taiki's fear of, like, oh, if I confess something, and if it goes wrong, then like, yeah, things will be awkward, this and that. The relationship won't be same anymore. But then again, I guess Taiki's situation is a bit different because Chinasu's living with him, so his point is also valid, which is that if I confess and she rejects me, yeah, then we're literally living together, so it'll be awkward, and that'll probably hamper Chinasu's training. So in the long run, this will be detrimental to her, and this won't be bad for will be bad for her. Stuff like that. Right. Anyways, then Hina confesses, and Hina just dips. She's like, oh, from next day onwards, um, whenever you look at me, just keep this in mind. And she ran. She ran. And after that, Taiki, is like embarrassed. She's like going back home, and she's thinking like, oh, wait a minute. So all this time, when like when I complimented her that time in the fireworks festival, when she said that I'm cool or something, all this time she liked me, and then he's like, damn. So I'm such a horrible person. I just I didn't realize any of that, and you know. And then he's like thinking about all of that, making weird faces. His mom is like, "What the hell are you doing? Don't work out in front of the house." They go in, and his mother tells him Inasu lost. Right. She also tells him that just be there for her. Either way, Taiki goes back, and he's like, just feel bad even though I didn't do anything. Right. How am I supposed to talk to her? Next day, Taiki is still conscious of Hina. He's like, thank God today Hina's not coming. I don't know how to look at her. But then he literally sees Hina was just peeking around the gymnasium. He's also thinking the same thing, trying to see if Taiki's in there or not. And Taiki's like, what the hell are you doing? They kind of start talking, and she's like, oh, like so you are feeling conscious of me, this and that. They kind of joke around and everything, and go in. And then there's Chinasu at the back looking at the whole scene. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if she heard everything, because if she heard it, she could clearly hear Hina saying that, oh, like, think about my confession, like, this is your punishment or something like that, she said. Here we go. Just remember that I love you. There you go. And I don't know if Chinasu heard that. If she heard that, then I guess, yeah, like, I don't know. But even if she didn't hear that, the whole vibe, she was getting from that was definitely. So she'll not know how to talk to Taiki either now. And yeah, more awkwardness, I guess, between them. But yeah, let's wait and see how this goes and what happens. Right, and that was today's episode, episode 14 of Aono Hako. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Aono Hako. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.